Hello and welcome to Reason News. Today we're focusing on the mounting crisis in higher education and the growing calls for the immediate removal of Higher Education Minister Dr. Nobuhle Nkabane. The South African Students' Congress, or SASCO, has intensified pressure on the government, demanding the immediate dismissal of Minister of Higher Education Dr. Nobuhle Nkabane. This follows a series of allegations including corruption, incompetence, and the illegal appointment of the Sector Education and Training Authority, or SETA board. SASCO's President Alungile Kamtshe addressed the media yesterday, stating that the minister has failed to deliver on her department's core responsibilities, particularly regarding the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, or NSFAS. Minister Nkabane faces serious allegations of corruption and is accused of misleading Parliament about the appointment procedures for SETA board chairs. Critics claim that the process was dominated by ANC-linked individuals, raising concerns over political interference and weakened accountability. SASCO, along with opposition parties such as the EFF and the DA, alleged that the minister's actions have led to operational delays and the erosion of governance in key educational bodies. Key allegations include illegal appointment of the SETA board and failure to disclose the advisory panel responsible for these appointments, flawed and possibly corrupt information of the NSFAS board, with SASCO declaring the board illegal due to improper procedures, and chronic underfunding and mismanagement of institutions serving working class and poor students, perpetuating systemic exclusions. SASCO has positioned itself as a leading voice for student interests, expressing deep frustration with the Department of Higher Education and Training. The organization claims it has repeatedly raised concerns with the ANC's leadership since April, but with little to no response. SASCO is not alone in its demands. The EFF and the DA have also called for Minister Nkabane's removal, making SASCO the third major organization to do so this week. The Democratic Alliance, in particular, has submitted complaints to the Office of the Public Protector, citing concerns over politically motivated appointments and governance failures. Here's a video from ENCA.
Democratic Alliance also called on the President to follow suit and do the same thing, along other ministers as well. But of course, SASCO has highlighted and expressed a litany of issues that has prompted them to say they're calling for the head of the Minister of Higher Education. I'm now joined by the President of the organization. He joins me right now. Thank you very much for chatting to us on ENCA. Let's perhaps start with you calling for the immediate removal of the minister. What's the deadline there? 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours? This is not the first time we've heard this call. How will you ensure that, this demand is taken into consideration?
Yeah, thank you very much, Paul. Look, we want the immediate removal of Minister Nkabane. There's no deadline to it. The only deadline we've presented, for instance, in our brief, as taken by the National Executive Committee of SASCO, is the deadline up until we usher in the day of reckoning. So that's the deadline we have. But Minister Nkabane has to be removed now. She's incompetent. She has to be removed now. Now.
Let's go into the day of reckoning. This is mass action. If by this week you have no response, then the minister is still in office, when will we see this mass action taking place?
Yes, as you have heard in our plan, that we are going to start to go and consolidate students. Remember that students are on recess currently after mid-year exams. So once they get back on campus, we are going to do students' mass meetings so that we mobilize them. And remember that we said this day of reckoning, we're going to do it differently from how things have been done in the past.
At the heart of the controversy are the SETA and NSFAS boards. SASCO alleges that the SETA board appointments were not only illegal but have also left the sector vulnerable to mismanagement. The organization warns that delays in appointing competent boards grant executives unchecked power to diminish accountability. On NSFAS, SASCO is demanding a complete overhaul, citing ongoing challenges with the board's leadership and allegations of corruption. The student body has called on Parliament's Higher Education Portfolio Committee to intervene and prioritize students' interests. Minister Nkabane is expected to brief the media later on the sidelines of a departmental event. As of this broadcast, she has not issued a formal response to SASCO's latest demands. The ANC's Secretary-General Fikile Mbalula was previously approached by SASCO in writing, but the party leadership has yet to take public action on the matter. SASCO has warned that if the minister is not removed within the week, they will mobilize students nationwide to escalate pressure on the government. The organization has outlined a 30-day plan to present 7 key grievances against the minister, signaling a sustained campaign for change. The crisis in higher education is not just about personalities, it's about the future of millions of South African students. Chronic underfunding, delayed financial aid and governance failures threaten to undermine the sector's ability to serve the country's youth. University and college managers have also come under fire with accusations of prioritizing profit over student welfare and perpetuating a two-tier education system that disadvantages the poor and working class. As public frustration mounts, all eyes are on Parliament and President Ramaphosa. Will the government act to restore confidence in the higher education sector, or will the crisis deepen further? The coming days are likely to be decisive. We will continue to monitor this developing story and bring you updates as they happen. For now, the message from SASCO and other stakeholders is clear. Urgent action is needed to address the leadership crisis in higher education. Thank you for joining us for this report. Stay tuned for more news. Until next time, stay informed, updated, and curious.